boring are the other relationships compared to my memories? I mean, really. Maybe I'm wife material. Yes. Fun wife material.
That's Krystal from The Bachelor, who emerged as one of the stars of this year's season. We met her last night. We want to talk about that event, and she's been nice enough to call in this morning.
Indeed. Krystal, good morning. Hey, you're on the Armstrong and Getty Show. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. How are you guys doing?
We're good. It was fun to meet you last night. You were utterly charming and a great sport.
Thank you. It was quite a warm welcome.
Well, go ahead, Jack.
My wife obviously asked, what your life like in real life, and I said she's completely different than she was portrayed on the show, and she's just really nice, and I can't imagine how they edit the show in such a way to make people look the way they look. But here's something we got to jump to right now. So for everybody listening right now, we did this event last night at a bar, and Krystal was nice enough to show up and ask her some question about The Bachelor, and she presented us roses and all this stuff. We had some fun and everything like that. But we heard that afterwards you were not happy. You felt like it was a humiliating experience. We didn't think you'd probably call in today, and we'd like to know what we did that was humiliating. It certainly wasn't our intent.
Oh, thank you again. Round two. I felt, in a sense, I just felt on the show so misrepresented, and I love having these opportunities to go and show people, to talk a little bit about.
So let's see if we can steer clear of S-bombs. So the clip that was...
You know what? Hurricane Krystal coming out.
Hurricane Krystal. That's right. So the clip that was played from The Bachelor before you came on, you found that to be an embarrassing clip?
No. Oh, God. I love Jimmy Kimmel. No, I love that.
Okay, so that was fine. It was my line of questioning then.
When I walked out to the crowd of 70-year-old Republicans who are, have no idea who I am, and they just see, me looking like a complete jerk, from the show, and you just show, Caroline and Chelsea just totally mad-talking me. I'm like, you don't even, you just make me look bad, man. Throw me a bone here.
Well, I think the median age was probably about 45, but I think we're learning more and more about Krystal and your fate on the show.
So was it my line of questioning that made you feel like it was a humiliating experience? Was that it?
Oh, no. And I wouldn't, I wouldn't say humiliating. I was just
you did say humiliating, so.
The confirm the buzz.
Was that the rosé talking?
No, unfortunately, I was just drinking water.
So what was it that bothered you? Because word got to us that you were kind of pissed off. And was it just that you were not recognized and hailed as you should have been as a major celebrity?
No, I was just I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just kind of here on round two, and I just kind of wanted to come on and do Bachelor talk and talk, about the show. So do you have any questions about that?
All right, yeah, absolutely. So what is it like to see you, because you know who you are, what's it like to see the version of you on TV? Is that uncomfortable?
I would say that definitely in the way how I came across on the show was surprising.
Uncooperative and snippy, or what?
I think just how just a few things were shown as far as context of things I was speaking about in a different manner and shown in a different light and used in a different context.
I see, yeah. Yeah, the old angry reaction shot when you weren't angry at that moment. That's an old technique.
But so if you, first of all, what was the motivation for going on? Was your motivation to go on is I'm going to meet a great guy, fall in love, get married, and, that'll be my mate for the rest of my life? Was that the motivation?
I was definitely really skeptical of the process. My best friend
should be.
Me. Yeah, I definitely was. But, I came in just really open to an adventure.
Yeah, that's a good way to approach it.
Marriage can be an adventure, I'll tell you that.
I'm sorry to depart, but are you allowed to talk about your experience on The Bachelor? I mean, to what extent can you be honest? Or do you have a non-disclosure agreement, that sort of thing?
Yeah, you're definitely on an NDA, so I can speak to, what is shown.
Well, I got to hit you with...
Oh, I see. Oh, you can speak to what people saw on TV. Okay, fair enough.
Well, what I saw on TV was a very effeminate acting gentleman who generally has the mannerisms of a gay man. So and I'm not the only person that thought this. My wife thought it. A number of people who watched the show, and it just seemed kind of odd. Did any of you girls ever discuss, is this guy even into women?
That was never discussed amongst the women. Looking back, you see different sides and different things, but he was very dorky. He was very dorky. But you wanted to give him a chance. And you know what's so interesting is you're put in this bubble where all it is Ari, and your feelings for Ari. And I mean, like, he's like your sole focus, which is crazy because never in my life have I done that with a man, made him like my whole world and my whole life revolved around a dude.
Maybe that's why you haven't found happiness yet.
Yeah. Well, I definitely didn't find it on the show, I'll tell you what.
But so when he would walk into the room, you're all sitting there and you're all dressed up and everybody's drinking, so I assume everybody's half drunk all the time. But he would walk into the room and he'd say, hello, and you all would go gaga over him. Is that the producers telling you to act like, oh my God, this guy is so studly and cool, or is it just the competitive nature of women, or what causes that?
There's so much high pitched cheers. Sometimes Ari would walk in, you're just really caught off guard and surprised. But I'm going to say I got just as excited when I saw Chris Harrison, walk in that room.
I expected Ari to propose to Chris Harrison. I really thought he was going to give him the final rose.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. We would not have seen that coming.
Well, I saw it coming. I feel like, I don't know, a fatherly figure in this. I'm telling you, if you're going to be doing a number of appearances and radio shows and stuff like that, what happened last night, what's happening this morning is tame compared to what you're stepping into. And
we're really nice people.
I just want you to know where you're headed. You're going to go on some rock radio shows, and I mean, it's going to be brutal. Do you realize that's what's coming your way?
I've been living it. I am here.
Yeah, okay. You're a woman. Hear you roar.
Well, we appreciate you calling in. It was very nice of you to show up on stage last night and the whole thing.
You're a gutsy gal.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Krystal
from The Bachelor.
Hey, that's fantastic. What a fine young woman.
Sean, I want you to jump in. What's on your mind right now?
I'm exhausted.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's just...
long day.
I don't know.
I think I don't know how much of it was editing.
Exactly. So this is what Joe and I were saying last night. Because we did this event on stage. Similar conversation to what we had here. As you could hear her say, she's saying, oh, round two. She's uncomfortable with any line of questioning that is... outside of the sort of thing you'd get out of Ryan Seacrest, I guess.
Right, exactly. That's not fawning.
Right.
Please. I don't fawn.
And she seemed surprised by that. And
on my wedding night, I asked my wife the tough questions.
And I was thinking, well, Sean, she's going to go on like Howard Stern-like shows and just get torn apart. I mean, we're being really nice to her compared to that. And she was upset at the end of the night. We know from personal contact that she was pretty unpleased that she ended up in that situation.
So, Sean, go on. More adjectives, more descriptions.
Well, I get the sense that she didn't know what to expect, walked into an unfamiliar scenario and was not around, shall I say, her people.
Who would those people be?
Ari and the other people whose names I don't know from reality television show.
Other pretty superficial people?
They who would fawn.
Right.
But do you remember that description we had the other day of who watches The Bachelor? And it was 3 different groups of people. And somebody nailed what a lot of the viewers for The Bachelor are. And it hinges on the fact that the contestants think they're in on the joke, but they're not really in on the joke.
Yes, I would say Colin in D.C., I think it was, who absolutely nailed it.
And our experience with talking to Krystal in real life leads me to believe that that's absolutely true. They think they're kind of in on it, but they still don't get the way we're all looking at them, which is interesting.
Right. They're not part of the joke. They're the butt of it.
Right. So then they kind of push back against things that say, hey, you know that you weren't in on it, right? Like
you were played. You're still being played. You're going to be mocked and humiliated because people think it's ridiculous to do that.
But hey, maybe you can get a couple grand off an Instagram post now. So I don't know how it all balances out on the ledger.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just I think it's going to get ugly for
Just know what business you're in.
Yeah.
You know what? Understand what you're selling.
I actually felt bad for her when we met her last night because I thought, wow, they actually get people that are way more naive to what they're stepping into. I thought they were all probably sharks. Maybe most of them are. I don't know. I've only met one. I figured they are all probably pretty cunning reality show wannabe sharks. She doesn't come off that way at all.
Mm-mm.
And, man, they just should chew you up and spit you out. We have never done anything that has received as much text activity as what we're doing now.
Well, let's read them. What say? Yes. If you won't, I will. Step aside.
They're not. I got to step
calling
up.
back now.
Yep, that could be.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have.
Hey, guys.
Your text clips of the week. Yes, Michael?
I was hoping Ari would use this line on her.
I caught you a delicious bass.
All right, Michael, go to break.